Hey y'all,
I'm John.
and I'm Kim. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Magnolia Peach Tea Podcast, where we share real life stories to help you navigate life's ups and downs.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for updates.
Now let's get to the tea.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us again on today. Today's episode is titled Lessons from Daddy. Today we have a special guest joining us today, our dad. Yay! So, Daddy, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Wallace.
Thank you for joining us today, Daddy. All right, so today we're going to talk about lessons from Dad. So as women, again, we come from a very agricultural background, and our dad taught us a lot of things that we as women find very useful, both positives and negatives sometimes, but very useful.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about some of those things on today, and thought it would be a great idea to have Dad kind of give us some additional background regarding those lessons.
So I remember my dad, I think that was one of the first trades as a truck driver. His name was Lightning.
Yes.
And I remember doing auto work with him, like fixing tires or like working on the truck with him.
Cabinetry.
Yep. Carpentry and stuff like that. So Dad, so tell us, was carpentry and like auto mechanics, was that something that you did as a skilled trade?
No, it wasn't a skilled trade. I picked that up here and there.
Okay. Well, definitely he passed that on, because when I say I am Miss Fix-It, I will try to fix things myself. I am very handy with Amazon. Yeah, I put things together. Yeah, and I think I definitely owe that to my dad, because as a little girl, I was like, my dad can fix everything, because I don't know if we ever had anybody ever come out to fix something at the house.
Nope, he fixed it all.
Yeah, Daddy fixed everything. He fixed it for us. He fixed it for grandmother. He fixed it for everybody. So today, yeah, I miss Fix It. And Kim, I think you're the same way, because like you will definitely try to fix things yourself before you make those calls.
Yeah, I'm the quick fixer. I don't like to do all these different measurements. I'm like, I will see it. I will try to put it together. If these two pieces of wood will go together and I don't have to measure it or cut it, we'll just put it together and just go. I will glue it, Gorilla Glue, screw it. We'll put holes in the wall until we find the stud, that type of stuff.
Right. I didn't know there was such a thing as a stud finder till like yesterday. I was like, I don't ever remember Daddy having a stud finder. Like, he just put the nail in the hole in the wall and we kept it moving.
No, he used a stud finder.
Really?
Yes, I had a stud finder.
I don't remember that, Daddy.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Another thing that fascinates me about Dad, something that I still can't do today, you know those little lines on the tape measure? I don't know what that means. All I know is the 1 and the half. And everything else is just like this line right here. I have so many marks on my tape measure, because like, I don't know what this is. Let me just mark this right here. And I'm just recreate it right there.
Well, the tape measure is more in my line of work. I am a welder, fitter. And by using the tape measure every day, you learn what each line consists of. You can go with that.
Now, that's one thing Daddy never taught us, was welder. Well, you know, I have this thing against fire, so I can't do it.
Yeah, you weren't allowed to mess with fire.
No, I can't.
No.
Well, that's probably for the best. I remember Dad had a workshop, but he built the workshop, and we was a part of that building process.
No, we built the workshop.
No, I was there.
No,
I was
you
there.
weren't. You were
I was
not.
there on the platform.
No, ma'am.
I was there.
No, I was there. I remember from the foundation on up.
I was there for the foundation. I helped build the foundation and the floor. I let y'all do the rest.
John did help me with the floor and the foundation, laying the foundation.
Now, after that, I probably was gone, because it probably was hot. But I'm just saying, I was there.
Kimberly pulled some nails day in, day out, pulling nails.
I was there.
Anywho, I'm just saying, we did it together. We did it together. Sanding. Remember sanding?
Yep, I remember all that.
I was like, why we gotta do this? What's the point?
How old was it? What year was that, Daddy?
This was before a ride. Was this before a ride?
The building.
The building?
No, Rob was here.
For the shop?
No. Yeah. When Rod came along, the building was there. I want to say 1995, something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, Rod was
And it's
small,
still
yeah.
standing to this day.
Still standing amongst the grass, but it's standing. It is standing. Now, okay, Dad, car mechanics, so I turn the key. If it started. If it don't, then I'm panicking. But I'm just saying.
No, you need to back it up. So my dad taught us to drive.
Oh,
That was a whole experience in itself.
let's talk about that. Dad taught us to drive in a pickup truck
With no power
with
steering.
no power steering. What year was that truck, Daddy?
That truck was a 1974 custom Ford.
No power steering.
No power steering.
So
No air conditioner.
right. I think you had an 8-track in there, huh?
No.
It didn't have an 8-track?
AM radio.
Hence the reason why my first car didn't have no air conditioner either. 'Cause I was like, I don't need it. Daddy didn't have it. I don't need it either. But I remember Dad teaching us to drive, or teaching me to drive. And in this truck with no power steering, he telling me, turn. Now, granted, this not like what's her name, Siri or Alexa, or whoever does the map thing. She'll tell you in 0.2 miles, turn left. No, turn now. Turn now. It doesn't have power steering. Turn, John, turn. Well, I'm turning the wheel.
My most memorable was when we had turned on to the road, to our highway or whatnot, and you were like way over the line, and he made you stop the car. Stop. Now get out and look at where you are.
Open the door.
Yeah, you were like way over the line, and I was like, oh my God,
Yes.
I do not want to drive, because if I have to go through this,
But I think I passed my driving test on the first chance too. So I mean, it was effective. But man, first of all, it was a workout. Still don't understand why I'm fat. But anyway, yeah, that was a workout learning to drive on that truck. That was Daddy baby too, because you couldn't just drive that truck.
It was Brutus.
Brutus. Yeah.
Go anywhere.
Anywhere. Now Brutus would get stuck on the levee every time. But he always got out. We always got out, when we went fishing. It was like Brutus was telling us, we don't belong here. We don't belong here. Why are we here? I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna sit in this mud right here and stop, because we don't belong here. And then when Brutus met his untimely end, Daddy was heartbroken, like this was a real person.
Yes, it was.
I don't know if it was just because it was Brutus was no longer gonna be a part of the family, or it was, oh my God, I gotta buy another truck.
it was that car payment, girl.
Exactly. I gotta buy another truck, because Brutus. What year did Brutus flip his top?
That was 2001.
Yeah, 2001. Yeah, that was something else. But after Brutus, no, Mom got, what year was the Buick?
The Buick was a 1981
Okay,
deuce and a quarter.
1981. Long. It was long. You have to watch that tail when you turn. It was long. Yeah, but then when it started on this little decline again, we never bought a car to a mechanic. And never had nobody else look at the car. Dad took care of it. In him taking care of it, sometimes things didn't go back to what they was before. So I don't know what the little round part of it was called. Is that the muffler? Nuh-uh. Carburetor? The carburetor. So something had went down, but Daddy fixed it. It started running, but in order for you to start it, you have to put a little gas on it. So you have to pop the hood, take that little bottle of gas, and just pour a little bit on it, let it sit for a little while, and then you get in the car and you start it up and it cranked up, no problem.
And that's wherever you were. So if you were out at work in the middle of a big parking lot with your coworkers, or if you were dressed up, you were needing to leave, you had to pop that hood, get out, get that little bottle of gas, pour it on the little carburetor, and hop in there and get it started, close the hood, and go on your little merry way.
As excited as I was to get my license and drive myself to work, I was very, very embarrassed most times, because I was closing. Remember, I was a pharmacy tech. That was my first little line of business. And closing, and everybody get in their car. It started up fine, and they leave. I got to take my jacket off because it was white. Pop the hood. Go to the trunk, get my little bottle of gas. Pour it on the thing. And everybody's like, you okay? Girl, yeah, I'm fine. This is what I got to do to start it. It's okay. I'm good. I'm just going to put this little gas on it and then get in, start up, close the hood, and then I'm on my way.
The reason why I didn't change it right then and there, I didn't have the money. $1,400.
So you made a way. So we appreciate that, Daddy.
Yeah, because I will make a way.
Yes.
I will make a way.
Yes.
As soon as that car was paid for, we had a conversation. I'm going to ride you till the wheels fall off. All right, you take care of me, I'm gonna take care of you. And that's what I did last weekend. We had a conversation. I told her, I said, look, now you costing me some money. I'm gonna have to extend your little contract now. But yeah, pour a little gas on it. That was a funny one. Yeah.
Well, that's how I came up. I remember Daddy bought a brand new Wizard lawnmower. In 2 days, I took it apart, every bit of it, and I put it back on, pulled the string, and it ran. So I said, well, that's good. And I kept moving up.
Now we know where Rod gets that from. We know where Rod gets that from. But you segue into our next point. Lawn care. So as you know, my sister and I let everyone know, and I think our first episode when we talked about us and where we're from, we were the two girls, we're the two oldest. Our brother came along much later. Well, not much later, but later. So we were the only kids, and so we had to do the lawn work. So we had a pretty sizable lawn, and we were responsible for cutting the grass. Once we became a certain age, we were responsible for cutting the grass. Now, that's not a problem. The problem was Dad had a particular way he wanted the grass to be cut. Our yard was longer than wide, I guess is what you would say. So you had to go the long way because the lines had to be that way. If you deviated from that, as soon as he turned that forward into the yard, he knew it. Exactly. You didn't cut it right. The areas that we missed were highly magnified for some reason to him, but not to us.
But it was about the lines, though. It was about presentation. You know, the lines had to go
Who
a
was
certain...
seeing it?
Anyone who passed by. It was about the lines. You know, the lines have to go a certain way. I'm kind of, and I'm like that now.
You are. That's what I was getting to that. That's where you get that from.
But you had to look at it from the road. Yep. I'd be coming down the road. If the lines are wasn't horizontal, it looked bad. Oh. If they were vertical, it looked bad. It looked like they had highs and lows.
All right, I'm going to take your word for it because I just didn't see it, but okay. Yeah. I didn't see it.
Yeah, it was the same thing with the ditch.
Oh.
If you did the ditch a certain way, because we had a very deep incline in our ditch. So if you didn't do it a certain way, it just didn't look right. It just was not, neat and kept looking.
Now, as a girl, and you out there in the sun trying to cut the grass on an incline, for me, the most logical, I'm going to get to the top. I'm going to let this lawnmower go down the hill, and then we be done with it. Oh, no. You have to go horizontal, which means that you trying to walk on this steep incline, trying to push this lawnmower that was low because the grass had to be cut a certain length. Couldn't be high. You can't raise the wheels to cut it high and go easy. It had to be a little process. Again, why am I fluffy? But anyway, maybe that's what I need to do, cut some grass. That's a good exercise, especially in this Georgia heat.
I don't know about that. It's too hot. It's too hot. Too hot. I don't think the weight will come off even in the heat.
Well, I already know I'm gonna quit before the minute that sweat start rolling. I'm done.
First bead of sweat come down, you're done. So let's move on to. I know we talked a little bit about pouring a little gas on the carburetor, but what about fixing those flats?
Yes.
So and so I think that was one thing that Dad said, if y'all gonna be able to drive, then y'all need to learn how to fix a flat. Bottom line.
Because remember, we in the country. There ain't no AAA.
Yeah. So I got my license, and I remember my first flat, got married. I was on my way to work on a Saturday in my husband's truck, and I caught a flat tire.
What'd you do?
I couldn't fix the damn flat. I had to call my daddy.
But you know why you couldn't fix it? Was that rims?
He did have rims on, but
I didn't know nothing about rims till I was married.
It was something, I don't know if he didn't have the
key,
the lug wrench.
The lug wrench. I don't know what it was. It was something that he didn't have in the truck or whatnot. No shade to my husband at all. No shade to him. But it was something that he didn't have. But I had to call my dad, and I was that when you say like one of the most difficult calls, aside from calling when you in jail. I was like, God damn, I gotta call him. But he came, he ain't fuss, he ain't saying nothing. He just came on there and just took care of the flat. But that was one thing, you had to learn how to fix a flat. And I helped him fix flats or, change his tires, like when he did the 18-wheeler, drove the 18-wheelers and stuff. So
but that was different because they had the little machine that took the lug nuts off. If you what's that cross thing that you have to turn and turn and turn?
But I learned. I try to teach them the way I learned. My mother told me, not my father, but my mother told me, if you're going to drive, you got to learn how to change that tire. And that's what she stood up there, made me jack up that car, take the tire off, and put it back. And that's the way I learned.
And that's what I had to do. I remember we didn't even have a flat tire. We were under the carport, and they was like, take this tire off. And I took the tire off, and I put it back on. That was it. And I'm like, what's this? But, you know, if times get rough, I know how to change the tire. And then now they have them little, you know, like the automatic lifters or whatever for the cars. Yeah. I'm like, what is this? Where's the thing you got to pump up and stuff? It's like, oh, we don't have that. Oh, okay. All right, well, all right. I guess I figured it out, but you know, that's not what I'm used to.
Like the 18-wheeler, the tires, it's hard work. It's hard work to change the tire, you know, and stuff like that. And I feel that y'all felt sorry for me because I was by myself trying to do all of that. But we did it.
I was just nosy, Daddy.
Yeah.
You was just nosy. Yeah. But that's good.
I was nosy too, but I was standing in the house looking. Like, what's going on over there?
Out the door.
Yeah. Wonder what they doing. Mama, what you think they doing over there? Yeah, girl, if you don't get out that door, okay.
Yeah, because you wasn't getting your hands dirty. That was one of the things
about getting my hands dirty. Yeah. I do not like to get my
hands
dirty.
Jean was not getting her hands dirty, baby.
I still had that thing 50 years later. I do not like getting my hands dirty. Now, I will do stuff, but I have to stop several times to wash my hands. You know, being from Southwest Louisiana, you know, seafood and stuff, that's a thing. I'll eat it, but I got to wash my hands several times because I do not like my hands dirty. Oh, speaking of cars, remember when you wrecked the car? You wrecked my first little car. I had a 1994 Hyundai Accent, bright orange, pinkish type color. I ain't never seen this color before.
No, I don't even think they made that color anymore.
I don't think so either.
No AC.
No automatic window, remove power windows, whatever it's called. You had to crank it. But it's okay because I was in college and these people told me I qualified for a car. I called my mom and said, Mama, I got a car. She said, with what? I was like, I don't know, but they told me I got a car. I had to get a job because, of course, I didn't have a job at the time. I was like, well, I got to get a job because now I got a car and I got car insurance. Hence, what happened to the car. My sister took the car. I think you were going to work.
I was on my way to work.
Yup. And she called and said she had gotten in an accident. And the first thing I thought about was, dang, I did not pay that insurance. I told Daddy about it. He got in the car, in the truck. I think we went, got you, pulled the car to where we had to go. Pay attention, Georgia. We pulled the car to where we had to go. And Daddy asked me about the insurance, and I was like, I don't have none. He was like, what you mean? I didn't work the hours that I was supposed to work, so I didn't have enough money to pay the insurance. I didn't pay the insurance. So I got a tongue lashing. I did get a tongue lashing. And he sat there for a day, told me to figure it out, and I couldn't figure it out. But he had already started making calls. Now, the insurance, not the insurance company. Now, anybody looking at this call would have been like, yeah, this is total. I mean, the airbags deployed, everything, right? Everybody would say this is total. Not our daddy. He was like, yeah, I know somebody who could fix it. We towed it to that place. Maybe like a week or two later, the car was ready.
Yeah, but I knew, we were raised together. And brought it there, looked at it, told me, yeah, man. Just get the parts, and I'll put it together for you. He didn't give me no price, no nothing. I ordered the parts and stuff like that. So after that, I said, how much I owe you? Just give me $100. And that was good.
Pay attention, Georgia, because I paid $200 and something for a battery the other day. I'm just saying. We fixed the whole front end of a car in Louisiana for $100. I'm just saying. It's okay. I'm just saying. No shade. I'm just saying. But that's the airbag, he wasn't able to fix the airbag because apparently that's like a legal thing.
No, he wasn't able to fix the airbag.
But we taped it up. We taped it up real nice though.
Because he'd have to take all that down, you know. But
and pray we don't get in another accident because we had no airbag.
Right, exactly.
But I traded that car in and they took it, so he must have done a good job because they took it.
He did. He was a good mechanic, you know. He was a good auto bodyman, you know.
Yeah.
And he was a good friend, you know. So
yeah,
he did it for me. For little or nothing, you know, just the parts. I got the parts and everything, and he put it together.
He sure did, because we rode that car for another probably like, I think I kept that car till I got married, till I went to Kentucky. That was 98. Yeah, we kept that car for a good while. Yeah, he did a good job.
Then a red car like that, like when he was fixing, he told me, Wallace, I might not get the paint job quite alike, but I'm gonna come as close as I could. And what he did, he came right on it.
Yes, he did. He did. That color. I can't even describe that color. It was a pinkish, orange, reddish. Like, it was just a very unique color. Like, I think everybody knew that was me in that car because that was the only car I ever seen.
Yeah, no one else had a car like that. Like I said, I don't think they even made any other cars that color, John.
Maybe I was the only one, huh? Maybe that's why I got it with no drive.
They probably said,
Let's give it to her. She don't know.
The only thing I remember, Ford came out with a color close to that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that color.
No. And on the paperwork, it said Marlboro Red. And I said, there ain't no red in this. What is this? Yeah. But yeah, that was funny. Speaking of recognition in cars, so we talked about Brutus, the truck that no power steering that Dad taught us in. Now, when we got older, sister, we would take the truck and everybody was waving at us. And we didn't understand why these people waving at us. I do not know who this is.
Because everybody in town knew the truck and knew who the truck belonged to. And I guess they thought he was in it.
It didn't even matter who was driving. No, everybody was waving because they saw the truck.
Everybody knew the truck.
Yeah.
I just like one time I had to go to school and I took your mama car and left her with Brutus. And I told her, do not babyfy it. Please do not be a babyfy it. Stop at the red light. Brutus decided he wasn't going no further than that. Rod and So I said, what was wrong with it? She told me, I don't know. We pushed it to the side and then we cranked it off again and away we went. I said, that's Brutus. That's
Again,
him.
Georgia, they pushed it to the side so traffic could keep moving, even though we didn't have traffic. But I'm just saying, that's what happens in the country. Push it to the side and let everybody go about their business. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us on today for Lessons from Dad.
Thank you.
I want to thank our special guest, Daddy, for joining us on today.
Well, I thank y'all for having me. If y'all decide to have me again, I got a lot more.
Oh, okay then. All right.
All right. We're definitely going to have you back then.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening, guys.